for tuning in this Sunday evening. Kevin Harlan here, along with Clark and Steve. We're always glad to see you. Thanks for joining us. And now a quick check of our starting lineups for both teams. And guys, checking out Joakim Noah here. What can you expect from him?
I don't know that you can really show his true value to this team based solely on numbers. With him, it's all about his work ethic and his desire, the way he gets after it.
And one other thing, I like his vision when he's posting up. Being able to score down there is just part of being an effective post player. You got to punish him for doubling up on you, too.
The Bulls are enjoying this break from the road. This game against Cleveland is the first time they've met this season. And a season ago, Clark, they won the matchup, winning 3 and losing just 1.
And as you'd expect, they pretty much handled this team a year ago.
Now, here's Bennett. The pass to Waiters. And there's a foul. It goes on Jimmy Butler. That's his first foul.
Well, that was a quick foul for him there. The refs are certainly calling it close.
Bynum, this is to Irving. That's good, and it's Bynum with the assist. Irving's got himself on the board with 3 there. Clark, opposite ends of the conference here. The expectations are pretty much the same as last season.
Well, Kevin, you never know what's going to happen. You don't know where the upsets will take place, but they do occur pretty much all the time. We thought he had that one clean, but the refs saw it different. Don't count the basket.
Bulls shooting their 3rd free throw attempt of the game.
Hey, people had no idea, guys, how the Bulls were going to do last season dealing with the Rose injury, but they showed very quickly that they're going to be a team in the hunt, and they were still going to be hard to beat at home.
Yeah, they're going to need some help there defensively. That matchup is going to be a tough one to deal with.
Now here's Rose. Turned in an outstanding game against San Antonio. Shot clock at 6. The Bulls need to get a shot off here. It's Boozer missing. And back to the Bulls at the United Center. Clark was just mentioning 24 and 17 here in this building a year ago. And even though, Steve, they didn't have a lot of Bulls flying highlights here, they knew how to close out games.
Well, they defend, and that's the main thing. If you want to finish and close out games, you have to be able to defend and rebound. And that's what Tom Thibodeau's teams are always all about, and this year is no exception.
The first quarter of action, 2 minutes in. Let's go quickly over to Doris Break for an update.
Chance to catch up with Tom Thibodeau. He'll be facing one of the towering post presences of the game, Andrew Bynum. Coach said, you know he's getting so much more aggressive, looking for his shot inside. He can finish right over the top of you. As with any big guy like him, it starts with getting a low base and trying to keep him out as far as you can. Then offensively, you've got to be ready to drop it off when he rotates to block the shot. Guys will see if they can make the right adjustments.
And thank you for that, Doris.
Well, poor Irving, originally from South Sudan, his family moved to London when he was a teen, and then for him, on to the United States. A worldly player for sure, and he's been involved in a lot of causes, both here in the U.S. and internationally. His touch has disappeared on his court. He just hasn't been able to get it done.
And that's one way he can finish, but not the only way. He's got a lot of tricks up his sleeve.
Gibson's checked in for Carlos Boozer. And going back to Dang, so active off the court, helping Sudanese refugees, basketball without borders, numerous charities. He says his parents instilled him with that kind of thoughtfulness.
Yeah, and he's also championed a lot of causes in the UK, campaigning to maintain funding for the British national team. Dang is passionate both on and off the court. You just love his approach to the game and to life, Kevin.
And Waiters kicks to James. Bennett. This now to G. Pass to Verjao. There's the feed to Bennett. Pass to Jack. It's tipped. And that's out of bounds. Cleveland will retain possession. And now we'll look at the point guards who have been taking matters into their own hands this past month. These are the top scorers at their position. Derrick Rose, number 1. Kyrie Irving is 2nd. A different look now for Cleveland. Earl Clark's checked in for Bennett. And it's C.J. Miles in for Lonzo G. No good from Jack.
Boy, we don't see that too often. No defender on him, and he just bites the open jumper.
And Butler, here we go, uses Irving to shut it down. An indication there of why the scoreboard looks like it does. Very impressive defense.
But the finish was anything but that.
No, he hammered that down, but superb above the rim action.
Kicks it to Myers. Takes the three. Offensive rebound. And slammed in by Verizon.
He sniffed out that board and then powered it back in.
Here, Mike Clark, so strong going back up with that one.
That's exactly what he's capable of, guys. So strong.
Now here's Butler. 11 points for him in that last game against San Antonio.
He's one of the best in the league at that. Even with just a tiny sliver, he always seems to find a way to get it up and in.
First trip to the free throw line for him tonight.
He was up on the 80% mark from the free throw line last year. I'm sure he was pretty happy with those numbers.
You know, he really did excel at the stripe. I mean, they couldn't have asked for too much more from him when it came to knocking down free throws.
Their offense already flowing, so stellar shooting off, jumping out to this lead.
Well, high-quality shots, and they've been on target with them.
Jet passes to Verizon. 20 seconds left here in the opening quarter. And Jet, here we go. And he banks in the layup.
Man, a gaping hole in the defense that time, and he didn't waste any time getting through it.
The kick out to Dan. Back to Heinrich. Heinrich off a pick from Gibson. He lobs up the alley-oop pass. A flawless finish on the alley-oop.
No hesitation at all on that. He saw his teammate with the pass to the hoop. Bang! Lob was right up there.
And he was ready for it, elevated, made the count.
Coming up.
All right, the second quarter beginning in just a moment. And a chance for just a second now to check out the scoring breakdown for the Bulls.
And the points they're getting in the lane will really help them open up the floor.
The other thing they've had going for them tonight is their passing. I mean, doing a nice job. Plenty of their points early on coming off assists.
And now, brought to you by Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset our lineups. So on the floor for Cleveland, Thompson and Zeller in the middle. Then there's C.J. Myers. Then it's Kyrie Irving. He dishes it to Zeller. Cleveland moving the ball around. LeBron with his three. Now let's go to Doris Burke. Doris.
Guys, Derrick might have the largest collection of basketball shoes in the league with over 1,500 pairs. He said, I remember when I had to go months ago and I didn't have any place to put them. So I started putting them in pampers. He'd go into the kitchen to get a cup and there'd be shoes in there. He says that once his playing days are over, he envisions future endeavors in sneaker design. Guys, he's following his passion.
Interesting. Thanks, Doris. 6 to shoot. And away from Irving for three. Goes back up. Here's Thompson. And he finishes it off with a one-handed jam.
You know, Kevin, he never gives up on a play. That's what I love about him. He just one of those guys who will bring effort and energy the entire 48 minutes.
And he is also a been a few guys that have been on the receiving end of one of his elbows when the rebound is up for grabs. He uses his body very well.
And you look at Irving and how much success he's had early in his NBA career. I think the only thing standing between him and true stardom right now is health. He's just had a lot of nagging injuries. He would love to put together an injury-free season.
Boozer, the ball back is out, and Boozer throws it down.
That's a solidly executed kick play. I mean, he paid dividends with that nice dunk.
Exactly the result they were looking for.
Yeah, it worked so well. I mean, he got set, did not shuffle his feet. Really well done there offensively.
Irving attacking, and that one's good. Irving's got 7. And for Kyrie Irving, his first All-Star appearance last season, and just fought his second year.
Well, you look at his age and what he's doing. Really a skilled scorer and playmaker already with size and athleticism. I like his savvy too, Kevin. He's very slick in how he gets around the basketball court. This kid has a chance to perhaps be an MVP caliber player in a few more years. It looked to me as though the Cavs seemed to take a step backwards last year in their development. It wasn't that they lost any players. They just failed to take the next step in terms of competing in the Eastern Conference.
Whatever look now for Cleveland. Bynum comes in for Tyler Zell. And Bennett subbed in for Tristan Thompson. Cavs did have a hard time against other Eastern teams. Had a hard time against any team, really. But in games against the East, Steve, they went 18-34. That's not going to cut it.
No, and the only division that the Cavs really held their own against was the Southeast, which was obviously pretty weak. So this was a Cleveland team that knew it was going to struggle. They did struggle. But again, hope for the future with a lot of young talent. And remember, they got the #1 pick, Anthony Bennett.
Boozer with the screen for Rose. Boozer. It's good. This time the assist from Rose. Rose has got 4 assists now tonight.
He shot the ball exceptionally well as they built this lead for themselves here.
G and a foul. One on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here. That's on Joakim Noah.
Great job. Take it right at the defense. I like the aggressiveness.
Yeah, he left him no choice but to foul there.
Chicago making a switch here. Gibson's checked in.
Well, the Bulls battled him last year's postseason. Got a game 7 win and didn't to sneak out of round 1 in what was one of the more interesting series of the first round, but then fell to the Heat in round 2.
Irving attacking. Right through the knee for the layup. Irving's got 12.
Guys, he shot a very good percentage today, and they need it.
Foul call. Looked like the D didn't get there in time, and he'll shoot free throws. And for the Bulls, no Rose the whole time, and there are questions constantly being asked if he would return, but the team came together, Steve, and showed the Bulls aren't just a one-man show.
You know, they missed him, though, Kevin, and desperately. I thought they performed admirably, but they really needed him against the Heat. They were able to steal game 1 in that Eastern Conference semifinal matchup, but without him, the Bulls just didn't have enough firepower to beat them.
Last game for the Bulls, they picked up the W against the San Antonio Spurs.
Well, they owned the boards at both ends of the floor in that game. I thought that was what won it for them more than anything else.
Well, that was the one area they knew they could exploit in the matchup, and boy, did they ever exploit it.
Now let's see Boyce on the side. Great young player and certainly a stand-up individual. Thanks, Doris.
That is a terrific effort on the shot. He's giving up a lot of size, but still finds a way to score.
I don't think that affected him in the release, though, Steve. I mean, he made it look like he was the bigger guy.
And he's shaking off a poor first quarter shooting effort. He's really starting to turn it on now, guys.
26 seconds left now here in the second. Back to Bynum. Yes, and it's Irving picking up the assist. Bynum's got his first 2 points.
Boy, they keep hammering away at him inside, forcing that ball into the paint. It's a smash mouth basketball.
It's a strategy that has served them well in this opening half part.
Noah with a screen on Irving. Here's Rose. Rose again as the official calls the foul. It may be a 3-point play. It's going to be on Kyrie Irving. Some serious agility coming out of the backcourt.
You know, that bucket might count for a little more than 2 points when you finish it with that kind of flourish.
Yeah, against a D that was already reeling a little bit. That was like a body blow.
And it's blocked by Rose. So we've reached the end of the first half of play.
Now, presented by Sprint.
Welcome to 2K Sports. We've got the Memphis Grizzlies.
The Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
A gorgeous view of the Chicago skyline as we welcome you back.
Well, Mike Brown hired back to the Cleveland Cavaliers. I got a chance to know him a little bit when he was an assistant with the Pacers early in his coaching career and was let go by the Cavs back in 2010. Family laid down roots in Cleveland, and I think he's glad to be back.
On the wings, Butler and Dang. Up front, Boozer and Noah. And it's Rose in at the 1 spot. So that's who Tom Thibodeau starts the second half with. Here's Bynum. Noah with the block. Rose against Irving. Rose with the ball. Boozer with the screen for Rose. Puts the lead pass in front of him. And that one's good. Boozer. And for Mike Brown, is firing kind of a desperation move by the Cavs to try to keep LeBron James. Steve, how'd you analyze that?
Well, I'm not sure that LeBron actually wanted him gone. But, you know, he's a great defensive strategist, a guy who excels in player development. And give credit to him. He didn't burn any bridges when he left. He maintained strong relationships here in Cleveland. And it's great to see Mike Brown back there with the Cavaliers.
Here's Butler. Misses off the left eye. For the Cleveland Cavaliers, they come in off the loss to the Brooklyn Nets.
Well, there's no doubt they played well enough to win that game. It truly could have gone either way, Clark.
Well, the lesson in this one is you can't just play well for 3.5 quarters and expect to win. I mean, they didn't close it out the way they should have. That's on them.
It's it loose.
Really a good picture of what not to do on those last 2 possessions. They're being way too casual with the ball.
Yeah, it's going to cost them if they keep it up. They need to get back to playing efficient basketball.
You know, with Derrick Rose out, a lot of people thought the Bulls would flounder last season, guys, but they were still one of the tougher teams in all of the East, in part because the culture of toughness and next man up has been instilled in that group from its coaching staff, starting with Tom Thibodeau. I don't think this takes away anything from how great Rose is, but I think it certainly speaks to how bought in and committed to the team that every man on that roster is.
And now we have a subject. Let's see which squads have topped the league in assists during the past month. Number 1, the Bulls.
And what really stands out during this recent stretch is just how well they're passing the ball. This is a club that is very unselfish.
Now here's Waiters, defended by Butler. And Bynum backing in. Here's Irving. Noah with the block.
Yeah, Bynum is one of the best low-post players in the game, undoubtedly. Just with that skill set down on the block, with the incredible length, a good shot blocker as well. Still maturing and still growing, but I think we'll see him make more improvement the next few years.
I think he's one of the giants of the game, a real physical presence who has unlimited upside and potential. He could be a force for a long time.
Kirk Heinrich, he's checked in for Chicago. Here's Rose. Count that one. Rose has got 17 now. Well, back to the Chicago Bulls team, you got to give a lot of credit to the culture of defense and effort that Coach Tom Thibodeau has created there, Steve.
Well, they weathered Rose's absence remarkably well. Advancing in the playoffs, giving Miami all it could handle. And you wonder, with the healthy Rose and all these other players having developed, is Chicago a championship caliber team? I think they are. I agree.
And it's Alonzo G with the foul. That is his first foul of the game.
I like the call. I thought the defense was moving him.
Yeah, I think he slid underneath. Good blocking call that kid.
Catching up on the changes for Cleveland. Tristan Thompson comes in for Andrew Bynum. And it's C.J. Miles in for Alonzo G.
A bit of an odd year for Kirk Heinrich, who normally is a very efficient player, but started off last season shooting way below his career norms from the floor. Ran the team pretty well, but it's kind of strange to see him shoot so poorly.
And going back to Heinrich, more of a jump shooter offensive. Sometimes that shot can come in, of course, is no go.
Yeah, he's not the scorer that he once was in his younger days, but main attribute for Heinrich is his defense. Just an incredible defender, great footwork, fundamentals, anticipation, and much stronger than he looks. He can guard ones and twos.
Back to Boozer. Heinrich outside. Heinrich off a pick from Boozer. Heinrich hits to Boozer. No good. Some solid defense there from Myers. Rejected by Dunleavy, and it's going to be out of bounds. The Cavaliers will retain possession.
Kevin, I got a chance now to look at where the Cavaliers ranked in the NBA last season. 7th in fewest turnovers per game. 14th in free throw shooting. And for team steals, a little bit to be desired there. This made it to the top 20 in the league.
I think the most impressive aspect of their team last year, Clark, was the few turnovers that they committed. In the top 10 in the league in terms of fewest turnovers per game. And that boded well for them. Anytime they took care of the basketball, they were extremely difficult to beat. That became a big part of their identity.
Rose attacking, and he comes off the screen and shines it through. Face off the determination that time. Hard to get to the rim.
You know he can bounce. He's right there, an example of how dangerous he is when he's got a pass to the hoop.
And you love the versatility, guys. Being a point guard, and in this situation, they tack on 2 more points, expanding the lead in a pretty deflating way for the defense.
Irving, good.
Now there's something for the top 10 highlight reel right there. A layup can be just as sweet and as pretty as a dunk sometimes.
Finished off by Rose. Clark, can you believe it? A point guard who can soar like that?
Man, I tell you what, that's a major elevation there. That's a power finish for a player in any position.
Well, he is not afraid to take it inside. You know that.
It's stolen by Rose. About 7 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Outside Dan. Up 3 off the mark. The Cavaliers trail by 14. Irving dishes to G. Back to Irving. Outside Irving. Cavaliers. And as we end the third quarter, a double-digit deficit.
Coming up.
And we're getting underway here in the fourth quarter. The scoreboard tells the story in this matchup, but we'll see how much things change up here. And a moment now to quickly take a look at the offensive approach for Chicago.
Well, I got to say, one thing that stuck out all game is the consistent penetration they've got.
And I'll tell you, the other thing, guys, is the mid-range shot is something that's really worked well for them tonight.
And Cleveland looking at who they've got to start the fourth quarter. Jarrett Jack is out there with Dion Waiters. Then it's Earl Clark. Then there's Anderson Bergeron. And it's G in at the 3, the small forward. Bergeron with a screen on deck. And that's out of bounds. Cleveland will retain possession. Now look at the Cavaliers' upcoming schedule. After this one, they're off to San Antonio to take on the Spurs. That will conclude their brief 2-game road trip. Five to shoot. Jack defended by Gibson. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact and he'll shoot 2.
I tell you what, the Cavs can certainly attest to how strong the Central Division was last year. It was a big problem for the Cavs finding wins against the rest of their division mates, and they ended up last in the Central Division standing.
And for the Cavs, nobody expected them to win the Central by any means. But, Steve, their fans were hoping they could avoid another finish at the bottom of the heap and a division record of 3-13.
Well, that's 3 straight finishes at the bottom of the Central Division. Look, this is a tough group of teams with Indiana and Chicago, of course, at the top. But Cleveland is a young team. They're going up against some veteran squads. They should be better as this season goes on and as their young players continue to improve.
And it's checked in for Cleveland. Fourth quarter still young, just over a minute left. Jack against Rose. Noah with a screen for Rose. Just 5 on the clock. The basket drops and there's 5 on the shot.
what I think of when I think of him. Late in the fourth quarter, time winding down. They've got one shot to win the game. He's your man. He's the guy I'm looking for to make it happen.
Let's find out what Doris Burke has for us.
Thanks, Kevin. I got a chance to hear what Mike Brown was saying to the team. He let his players know that they've got to do a better job on defense. He said they're scoring any way they want. We've got to show some pride here. Let's make a stand defensively, get us stops, and get on a run of our own. Do they have it in them, Kevin?
Great. Thanks for the report, Doris.
People have talked about the defensive renaissance in Chicago as a big part of their turnaround, and that's accurate. Bibbs has done wonders for this team defensively, but another aspect is that they've had one of the deepest benches in the league the past few years, too.
Well, back to what you said, Clark, about Chicago. It is a credit to them that they've been able to constantly add or draft talent that is ready to step in for them and Steve contribute off the bench.
Yeah, no doubt about that. You think about Ty Gibson, a late first-round pick. Jimmy Butler last year really emerged as one of the best young players in the league. Great story. So terrific job by the Bulls front office in figuring out which player to take later in the first round.
The Bulls leading by 13. The kick out to Dang. Back to Rose. Rose off the pick from Noah. Rose goes in. Dives for it. Dang. Gibson passes to Rose. Who gets the rim with a two-hand slam. There goes for point guard. He can punch it.
Yes, sir. I mean, that would have been unheard of about a decade and a half ago. Never seen a guy bounce like that at his side.
Good point.
Times have changed, though, because we got guards all over the league who can play way above the rim.
G kicks the dynamo. Makes it off the glass. Chicago calls timeout.
You know, the Cavs have been very mindful of remaining flexible in terms of the salary cap. And when you do this, you set yourself up to perhaps make a big splash in free agency at some point. And you know what's coming. They might have a chance to re-sign the...
That is just ridiculous.
Filthy. I don't remember ever seeing a dunk like that in a game. I certainly can't remember the last time I saw it.
Oh, man, that was just amazing.
Outside Jack. Takes the lead pass. Stolen by Noah. Chicago calls timeout. They're in front by 15. We've got 1:55 left in the fourth quarter. The Bulls leading by 15. Rose dishes to Butler. Back to Rose. Rose double team. Butler, the free ball. It's good. This time the assist from Rose. Rose has got assist number 7 for him tonight.
And they've set up countless buckets off assists. That's a huge part of what they've been doing here today.
A lot of dime dropping going on out there, Steve.
Dishes it to Bynum. That one's good from the corner. Bulls have gone 4-7 from the field since the beginning of the fourth. And it's Rose penetrating. Double team on Rose. Back to Noah. They grab the wrong miss. The kick outside to Butler. Butler missing again. The Cavaliers trail by 16. Raiders pass it to G. It's blocked. They get it back. 59 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. Rose in the post, defended by Raiders. They get it again. The kick out to Rose. Feeds to Butler. Butler missing again.
Kevin, he's missing shot after shot after shot from long range. With time running low, he'd be better off trying something else.
He feeds it to Raiders. Passes it to Jack. Lock at 6 to the middle. And Bennett with the basket on the assist from Jack.
Good possession there, resulting in the easy one down low.
Now here's Gibson. Rose kicks it to Noah, and he goes in for the top.
And the fans loving what's transpired here tonight. A really good victory for these guys.
Sure was. I mean, they did just what they needed to do to keep the visitors from getting any momentum going at all.
Check for three. And so Chicago takes this one, and by a big margin.
I should have taken back this moment. These words I spoke, I know it. Now I can see clearly. I folded, I shouldered too much weight. I hold in too much pain, and it destroyed me, and then rebuilt me, and now it can feel me. It follows me everywhere I go, but it can never break me. Now I know I was lying to myself back then, but the truth was always bleeding out my pen. I fade back to myself in the end. I'm just one step away. I ascend, I climb that faded staircase of sin. I'm reaching in vain just to hold on to them. Once again, the memories seem to blend. My enemies and friends seem to vanish in the wind. One step closer to your dreams. Does it mean everything in between where you are right now and where you want to be? Must suffer for the cause like it ought to be. Me against the world in apostrophes. You look around like